different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
I had to address this because this happens too often up here in Ohio where I'm at. You got these neo-Nazis that love to kind of walk around and parade themselves and, say hateful things while they marching down the street behind police security with their protests, which I don't believe should be even allowed in this country. But hey, that's what freedom of speech gets us, right? People get to freely hate you for no reason whatsoever and say all kind of racial and xenophobic stuff to you, and nothing happens to them. And these neo-Nazis, they have been doing this. They've marched in Columbus, Ohio, a couple of times, and this time they decided they were going to go down to Cincinnati. Problem is, usually when these neo-Nazis do this, they do it in areas where there's really no people at during the daytime, or they do it at odd times, or do it in neighborhoods that they know people really are not out like that. This time they ended up in Lincoln Heights, which is where a large majority of African Americans live at down in Cincinnati. And let's just say it didn't go how these neo-Nazis wanted it to go. This time they actually got ran off. And the residents kind of made it known that this is not going to be tolerated here. So I want y'all to take a look at this, and we're going to discuss on the other side. Y'all hit the like button, share button, subscribe button. Help me get to 13,000 subs, and let's get into it.
Outrage off of I-75, where some flags displaying swastikas and hate speech were hung over the interstate today. About, a dozen or so people.
Yeah, about that many. You just heard from the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Cincinnati reacting to not only the hateful display, but also the nearby residents of Evendale and Lincoln Heights who showed up to protest the neo-Nazi demonstration.
Brady Williams is live after talking with the people that live there.
Yeah, so by the time we showed up, there was a Jeep that was smashed to bits right about here in the parking lot, and we're told that was because there was a lot of anger over what they saw on the bridge just over there. They saw hatred and they saw racism, and they say that there was a lot of hurt over what they saw here.
Tried to elevate myself and hold myself to a level of responsibility and accountability and charity and business ownership that I could be proud of. And I got to stop at a stop sign and somebody called me the N-word.
Eric Ruffin stared down a group of people holding Nazi flags and guns just a few hundred feet from his business. Anyone who drove along I-75 near Evendale Friday afternoon saw the same thing.
Officially letting you know there is racism in America.
Residents of nearby Lincoln Heights soon arrived to protest the Nazi demonstration.
This is something that we all need to take a stand for. We need them to know this is not the 1960s.
Amen. This is not the 1960s. This is not. You're just not going to be walking around doing this and not think that people ain't going to come and show up and show out. And you're not going to be intimidating and trying to put fear in people simply because you hate us because you don't like the skin color. Like, that's your own ignorance showing. Like, we're not walking around displaying hate signs all over the place. This is you guys doing that.
This is 2025. We're not playing at this time around.
We're told the people on the bridge came and went in a U-Haul, leaving shortly after locals arrived. Evendale police released a statement that the demonstration, while offensive, was legal.
And it shouldn't be.
Protesters took issue with that response.
You're allowed to have a protest, but where's your permit? Where's your permission? And then inciting hate, calling people niggas. That's not right.
When Fox 19 arrived, this car had its windows smashed and its tires slashed. Protesters stated that they believed it belonged to one of the men with the Nazi flags.
That's hate. That's what hate is. That's what hate gets you.
Protesters say they were shocked and disgusted by what they saw on that overpass, but their gathering was about standing together.
And if y'all saw the tags on the actual plate on that car, you can see that the people are not from Ohio. They came in from out of town.
This is unity. This is all you. Nobody's here to fight. Nobody's here to cause any trouble. Nobody's here to do any of that. But what we're not going to do is have hatred.
This love, like this united, like we united, like.
I hope that this can change, but you have to realize that this is a big issue.
Protesters say they saw hate and they stood their ground. They say they want to know if the masked people on that bridge will simply retreat without repercussions.
What's going to happen next? That's the question. What happens next?
I agree with you, brother. What happens next? Well, we don't know because we don't know who these people are. And this is something that has been going on, especially up here in Ohio for a couple of years. They show up, they walk around and mask on and just say whatever. And then they got police escorts. And as soon as somebody gets ready to confront them, they take off. Even though they out there with guns, they're taking off, running away. And my question is what are you trying to gain by going out here displaying swastikas and yelling the N-word and all that? You're trying to incite somebody to come over there and harm you. Now, I don't know if these are paid actors and this is the government doing this crap. We've heard in the past that this might be some FBI co-op stuff that these people are doing. At least that's what y'all said. That's what happened on January 6th, right? That's what it was. It was a bunch of FBI agents out there doing all this stuff, inciting an insurrection. That's what happened. So these are FBI agents too that are walking around with swastikas on, displaying hatred. And then you show up in Lincoln Heights about to get your ass whooped and you need the cops to help you. And then you run and tuck tail, hop in the U-Haul van and get the hell on because 300 black folks showed up with guns too. Oh, they didn't show that part in the news. They didn't show that part. But them people were out there armed, ready to go. They were armed. They had video of them on X, video of these people walking around. The cops showing up, patrolling, but the citizens were out there with shotguns and rifles. AR-15s ready to go. Hatred has no place. And I've seen comments, people saying, y'all need to clean your own neighborhoods up. You stop your own violence. Why don't y'all come out there for that? Like, violence begets violence. It happens everywhere. We ain't the only ones that have violence in our neighborhoods. Y'all act like we just want to live in war zones. That's not the case. Some of you at least. Make up every single stereotype that you can. And it's simply not true. But that's going to get somebody hurt. And the police need to stop allowing these type of protests. I understand that it's freedom of speech. But these people are getting permits to incite violence. That's what they're doing. And we're allowing it to happen instead of really policing this. Now, this is where police have to have accountability, because why are you even patrolling? Like, as a police chief, why would you even allow your officers? Like, I would think I wouldn't want to patrol that. Like, you think really I'm gonna go out here and protect you? You out here saying this, and I think about like the minority police officers, black ones in particular. How do you go out on patrol and patrol a hate event where people are saying everything about the racial makeup of the people that you look like? Like, how do you effectively do the job? Why would you even want to be a part of that? Tuck tail. They hopped in the U-Haul. Same thing they did here in Columbus. They tuck tail, jumped into a U-Haul van, got away. Got into a U-Haul, got away. Somehow or another, they left the Jeep there. I wonder who Jeep that was. The resident said it wasn't nobody from theirs. Ain't nobody claimed it. It got its windows busted completely out. Got towed. Are the residents going to know whose vehicle that is? Are the police going to release the names of the people that were involved in this thing? Are they even going to investigate to see who authorized this? Somebody had to sign off on a permit. Somebody had to apply for the permit if they were legally allowed to assemble there, right? So many questions that need to be answered. And I hope the residents in Cincinnati get their just due. Those residents in Lincoln Heights need to get their questions answered. I know today they had a town hall meeting that went down, and people were outside trying to get inside to voice their opinions about it, as they should. And the elected officials heard them. That community is not going to be a symbol of hate. They're not tolerating that. You can take that somewhere else. That ain't gonna fly. You could try that if you want to. It ain't working. Like the man said, this ain't the 1950s and 60s. You're not intimidating us by doing this. All you're gonna do is get the same energy reciprocated on you, because it's gonna get violent. And I don't know if these people want that, and that's what they're trying to do, incite a race war, and that's what their intention is. But you are poking the bear. And these young bulls are not, they're not with it. They are not with it. They're not trying to hear that. They're going to stand united. Our communities are strong. So y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this one. What y'all think the police should do? Is there anything that the police can do at this point? Hate has no place in the country at all. Until next time, Coach Nation, let's keep it coaching.